Twisha Sharma death probe is gathering pace, with investigators now examining multiple aspects of the case, from family dynamics and financial allegations to questions surrounding Twisha's mental health and the circumstances leading up to her death. The special investigation team has intensified questioning, reconstructed the crime scene, and is scrutinizing statements made by husband Samarth Singh during hours of interrogation. Fresh allegations, claims, and counterclaims have added new layers to an investigation that has already drawn widespread public attention. As the probe widens, investigators are attempting to piece together the sequence of events while verifying every claim against available evidence. We'll talk about this with our guest. Rekha Shukla, women rights activist, is with us on the program. Mr. Ashutosh Srivastav, Advocate Supreme Court, and Mr. Ellen Rao, former IPS officer, also joins us on the program to talk about this. Rekha ji, I'll begin with you. Well, Samarth has started talking. He's given a lot of details about what happened from his perspective while he was married to Twisha for a little over 5 months. He's gone on to make tall claims like Twisha was bipolar, and had problems, in terms of raising a child. This is obviously going to be investigated against evidence which will be gathered by the CBI, but it fails to convince anyone that somebody can tell if one person is bipolar or not in such a short span of time.
Yeah, true. Actually, now they are trying to malign the image of Twisha, the only resort they have. The same thing the mother-in-law of Twisha is doing. She is claiming all those things which is not relevant with the case, that she has been murdered, that the girl is no more in this world. And even if she is bipolar, how can you judge, how can you say without any medical proofs, without any other investigation or medical investigation or anything? Now they are into the mode of defending themselves, and they are not concerned what they are saying. I think they don't even know what they are just claiming. So we need to see here, we need to stop, actually we need to stop these people, that if you are saying all those nasty things about a girl, you should first put it on record with facts, not just to malign the image of the dead girl. We should not give them any kind of leverage. We should not give them any kind of hearing to these claims of either their lawyer or the mother-in-law or Samarth or whoever is there who is supporting this family, this accused family. Right?
Okay. Mr. Rao? Well, it's obviously important to understand. What do you think will be the direction of this investigation now that the CBI has taken over? Everybody's been spoken with, interrogated, but a number of questions still remained unanswered as to why Giribala Singh wanted that footage from that salon. Is that an action which borders towards self-incrimination on behalf of the defending party? Mr. Rao? Mr. Rao, are you there with us?
Now the case is, yes, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are, sir.
Hello.
You are, sir.
Hello. Oh, yes. Now the investigation is under the control of CBI, directly under the control of CBI, and they are investigating all the aspects of this case. Initially, investigation which was done by the local police, now it is also being scrutinized, and on the basis of available evidence in this case, whether it's a murder or a suicide, all these things are being probed in detail. And I don't think that CBI will be influenced by any other thing which is maybe by the side of anyone. And they will be doing this investigation only on the basis of the available evidences and the facts and circumstances of this case. The circumstances are also very important in this matter. So I think that investigation is being done very effectively under the control of our senior officers of CBI, and the whatever investigation has been done, that is also being taken care of, and whatever available evidence was there, forensic science investigation is also being incorporated as per new law of BNSSS. Then on the basis of all the oral, documentary, and scientific investigation, I think this now the investigation will be going on ahead, and all the facts and circumstances will be revealed as soon as possible. The investigation is likely to be completed in this matter.
Ashutosh,
So,
what do you think
Yes.
is going to be the trajectory of the case now, since the CBI has taken over? The court has
Yes,
also, Supreme Court also took suo motu cognizance the other day, only because of the reason
Yes.
that it felt,
Yes.
that statements that were being given by the in-laws as well as the parents could jeopardize the cohesiveness of the case.
Yes, see, after the Supreme Court took the suo motu cognizance of the issue and directed the CBI to do a fair investigation, I think the CBI has taken the charge now and they are investing it into the right direction. And, I think the autopsy report, the post-mortem reports which have been taken, twice earlier, I think CBI will correlate it with the statements being made by the accused and the other witnesses. And so far as the medical condition, has been alleged about the being bipolar and all, I think there were some medications also given by certain doctors. I think they will also be questioned, or maybe they may be asked as to what kind of treatment was going on, whether it's a right statement or not, whether it has got any truth or not, or what was her condition, what kind of medications were prescribed. Maybe some medical opinion may also be sought, and also to see if it was a suicide, whether she has also written any suicide note, has she named anybody, if she had a lot of cruelty going on onto her, domestic violence also was there, has she filed any complaint previously, has she informed anybody, if there was any medical treatment going on, was her own family informed about it, were they aware about it, was it a kind of medical issue previously also, or it is now, or it is never, it was not there only, so it is just an allegation. So all these aspects, I think the CBI will go into minute details. And so far as the courts are concerned, yes, the courts have really passed orders in the interest of all the parties, including the victim family, and also I think accused, because everybody will get the opportunity so that the justice can be meted out, the truth can come out, and justice will be served to everyone. So I think it is going in the right direction. Now it is the CBI who has to conduct the investigation in the right direction, which is expected from CBI, not to be influenced or, influenced by any party, anybody, and they will do their work in the diligent manner, and the truth will come out accordingly. So I think, at present, just to say that certain things just happened, or it was a murder, it was a suicide, it will be too early to come to any conclusion unless and until the investigation is, completed and a charge sheet is filed. Because when the charge sheet is filed, then all the details will come out as to who are the witnesses, and what kind of statements have been taken, what is the scientific way of the investigation, the doctor's report, medical report, the autopsy reports. Everything has to support if there is any, such foul play in her death, because the laws are very strict. As we know that CBI has also, conducting the investigation, and sections like, section 80, subsection 2 of BNS, and also section 85 have been implicated in this case. And if it is proven that the death has been caused to her, and there are, sufficient evidences for any sort of physical assault or injuries on her body, based on the autopsy report, then this may go into a different direction, then section 80 subsection 2, if it is proven, then there is a very harsh punishment of minimum 7 years to life imprisonment. So it's a very serious issue, as we know, because the death has taken place within 7 years of the marriage. So the laws are like that. So we'll have to see what kind of investigation results are coming, and what kind of charge sheet is going to be filed, and what is the intensity of the entire situation and investigation. And also, I think the witnesses are going to be very important factors, including her visit to the salon, which many have raised on the same day. So what made her to take such a drastic step on the same day when she was all fine on a particular day? So what has happened? So I think it is going to be very, very important aspect as to how CBI comes to a conclusion as to what is the real cause of her death and who are responsible, if any. So we'll have to wait and see how the investigation goes and where it leads to. Yes.
Rekhaji, that's a good point that Ashutosh has brought up. Sensationalism versus the reality on ground pertaining to such cases. What kind of a volatility and danger do they put, the process of justice through when something like this is put through so much scrutiny outside of the courts?
I also agree with Ashutosh ji. Yes, of course, CBI is doing their work, and the whole process later on will be able to tell us clearly whether it's a suicide or a murder. I agree to that. But then the way mother-in-law is calling her by names or telling her what she was and how she was behaving about her boyfriends or about whatever things, do you think any female will survive such kind of a thing in a domestic area, in a marital status? I'm very surprised to see a mother-in-law with such a great stature and on that such position, and she has that kind of a mindset, that old school mindset, right? And she is not hesitating in saying anything for that girl. So outside this society, outside this courtroom, outside this panel discussions, of course, we females are discussing what kind of marriage girls are looking for nowadays, what kind of family they want. Definitely, they don't want such family members who are always commenting in some way or the other, always pointing out about her past, always pointing out anything, something wrong with her. Maybe she has committed suicide. What is the reason of that suicide? Is it abetment to suicide? We have to look into that angle also. So outside that, we all feel sorry, and we all feel really sorry for Twisha, what she might have gone through during that 18 months of marriage. Because now that the real face of her mother-in-law or of her husband, we are seeing. So this we need to address as a whole, not just a suicide case or just a murder case or suicide case or whatever, not a high-profile case. This is a normal domestic family members. We need to discuss in our homes. We need to discuss on social media platforms that we female want a proper house, a proper family members who accept us as we are. Even if we are flawed, we have some problem, we are ready to change ourselves. She willingly married this person, so she has accepted that now she will be going to another family, but this family has not accepted this girl, and the girl is, maybe I'm very sure these both mother and son might be torturing her like anything mentally. She might have left her body few days back, but her soul is murdered way before she committed suicide or she was dead. That is what we need to feel, something for that girl.
Right. Mr. Rao, so your thoughts on the fact that there's so much that has been spoken on this case, even before Samarth surrendered and the CBI took over, that there is this palpable evidence based on what the family of both the parties have spoken on the media. How is that likely to influence the kind of investigation that the CBI is going to conduct?
Yes, but in the investigation, I don't think that any external pressure or any external influence is a material fact. Only the investigation is done on the basis of the circumstantial evidence or facts which have been available with the case file, or a most important aspect in this case will be the autopsy report. After getting to know the autopsy report, that will also tell us what are the mark of injuries, whether these are the fresh injury marks or old injury mark, and the doctor will definitely clearly have to spell out what is the cause of death. And this cause of death will indicate whether it's a suicide or a murder. That is to be seen, and only by saying or any allegations from either party, maybe the accused party or maybe the victim party. Their version is definitely taken into the investigation, but their version cannot be accepted as a whole if it is without any evidence or without any proof. That only saying is not sufficient. In such type of cases, a very serious case, either it's a murder or a suicide within the 7 years of marriage. Both these sections, that is 7 years of marriage, that was earlier 304B, now it is I think 80 BNS. Earlier it was 403 304B, that was that was called a dowry death. And if it is there, that is also more serious than I consider is more serious than a murder, because onus of proof in such cases is definitely on the accused. And if it is a murder, then it's also a serious matter. In both circumstances, whatever the outcome out, that matter is very serious. And this is a very challenging job for the CBI to come out with the truth without any influence or without any prejudice of what is being said by either of the party. Only on the basis of available evidences and on the basis of truth, which they come out with the truth during the investigation. That is more important than saying by or influenced by any other person, or even influenced by the media trial. Because this case is also being treated as by the Honorable Supreme Court that this case should not be made a media trial, because that is bound to be influence the mind of people. But I don't think that the mind of investigators in CBI will not change because of these influential words or influential statistics. They will be doing the investigation only on the basis of the available evidences and circumstantial evidences, scientific evidences, or any other evidences which are available, oral or any important aspect about the death of this victim. So we need to wait and watch only, and then we'll come out with the truth after some part of the investigation is carried out. And I think the court also directed that the day-to-day investigation details should also not be revealed, so that it will not be influence the mind of people in this case.
All right, Ashutosh, before we wrap up, obviously the Supreme Court is also going to monitor what's happening over here. But the fact of the matter is that the evidence collection part for the CBI, is that going to face challenges considering the fact that, according to the plea that has been filed by the parents of Twisha, a lot of evidence could have been tampered with, considering the fact that anticipatory bail was given?
See, if the CBI comes to a conclusion that there has been tampering, then additional sections for the tampering of evidences can also be implicated against the accused. However, I do agree that because of the delay, if the police have not collected the relevant evidences from the crime scene, then it would be difficult for the CBI to collect it now, because if it is delayed, then the evidences are difficult to be collected in a proper scientific manner. So that could be the challenge the CBI may face. However, I feel that the autopsy report, as I said earlier, will be the very important aspect to lead as to how and what was the cause of a death, and then it can be correlated with the other evidences available. So far as I heard Rekha ji also, see what I feel that a crime is a crime if it is proven, whether it is committed by a man or a woman or on a man or a woman, that is immaterial. Because see, if you look at recently, we saw that one male judge, sitting judge, also committed suicide. We saw one Atul Subhas in Bangalore. He also committed suicide because of the domestic issues and because of the cases being pending, and for all the the torture and harassment he was going through. So it is very difficult. This is what I said, that even the accused here in this case, they also have certain rights to be tried. They have the right of trial. This is what our constitution says, that anybody has to be treated innocent unless and until proven guilty. So they have all these opportunities to cooperate with the investigation to prove if they are innocent. If they are not, obviously the law will take its task, its duties on them, and they will be punished if they are proven to be guilty. There is no doubt
Ashutosh,
on that.
Ashutosh, I agree. Every person has their rights. But here, what I am pointing out, the way they are maligning Tusha, this is
No,
not acceptable.
absolutely.
If
No,
they are
no.
doing
I
so in the public, what
I agree.
might they
I
have
agree.
done
See,
within
if
the
there is
four
any
walls?
All
if there
right.
is any
Okay. All
defamatory
right.
statement being
We've run
made
out
by
of
the
time, but I
family,
appreciate
that has to be
I
challenged
appreciate the
separately.
the thoughts, and of course, the point